Hello, welcome back to Budget Freedom Books. My name is Jessica, and I wanted to do a quick video today talking about whole term life insurance policies and some other investment options that you might have on your budgeting journey. So, especially if you're like me and you are not, I wouldn't say short on cash, but tight on cash, especially at the moment while I'm building up to get that extra cash that I want to be able to dump into all the investments and other things that I want to be able to do. For now, we are on a set budget, and it is hard to have. Well, it's not hard. It's not happening right now to have a lot of extra money for investments and savings and things like that. I have my minimums going, as you can see in my budgets. So I do save every month. I save for my yearly bills. I put into my savings account. We pay all our bills. We are working on paying our mortgage off, even though it's a bit slow. I want to double our mortgage payment every month, but right now that's just not happening. So I'm doing an extra $200 a month at this point. But I really want to increase that. That's the thing. I want to increase that. I want to get that paid off faster. I have a lot of other things that I'm saving for that I want to get a lot more money to put into those. I have a lot of wants. I have a lot of goals. And, that's the good thing, because when you have goals, you have something to work towards. If you don't have these goals, whether you can financially meet them or not at this point, then you're not going to move forward. You're going to get comfortable on the budget that you have, and you're not really going to have an incentive. You're going to think, well, I'm paying everything. Everything is fine. And you're not going to have an incentive to push harder to get that raise, to maybe get a new job that pays better, to do something on the side that earns more money, or whatever it is. So it's really, really important to have your goals written down and have them somewhere where you can see them, so that you can constantly remind yourself what you're working towards and what you really want out of life. So for me, obviously paying your bills is really, really important, but it's not enough. I also need those other goals that I'm working towards to push myself, and to also obviously build our family's wealth and security and financial freedom at the end of the day. So one of the things that I use for this is a whole term life insurance policy. So I am an ex-insurance agent. I was registered in the state of Texas, not in life insurance, but in general lines and commercial property. So I'm not into the life insurance section, but I do have knowledge when it comes to insurance. So you have two options. You either have a term life insurance policy or a whole life insurance policy. So a term life insurance policy is when it's like no extras. You just pay the minimum for your life insurance for whatever amount that you think, and it goes to term. So up until the age of 70. Every insurance company has a different cutoff date. They won't insure you until you're 100 years old. So they'll say if you don't die before 70, that's what your premium is going to be. If you do die, that's what we're going to pay you out. And then after 70, obviously, they cut it off. There are some specific companies, especially out of the UK, that do offer life insurance policies for 70s to 100s. But you'd have to get a new policy for that. Most standard insurance companies don't cover that age range. And unfortunately, they don't have to most of the time. Okay, so that's just a basic life insurance policy, and you just pay, and in case you die, that's what your family gets paid out, basically. And that's called a term life insurance policy. Okay, a whole life insurance policy is different. It's got term included in it, plus you invest extra money into your policy that the insurance company actually then invests on the stock market in a portfolio. And you, it's basically like having stocks. It's part of your stocks. So you actually earn money over the term of your life insurance policy. Try to break this down a little bit easier for you. So let's say that you would usually be paying $30 a month for your life insurance policy. With a whole term life insurance policy, you might be paying $50 or $60 a month. But in 20 years, if you don't die, you can actually stop your whole term life insurance policy and then take that money out. So whether it's $15,000 or $20,000 or whatever it is, they will pay you that money out, and then you can take that money and do whatever you want with it. So a lot of people use it as investment funds for their kids They put it towards their retirement policies. They'll use it for a bunch of different reasons. Some people will use it for more obscure things like house payments and things like that. I don't advise that. I think that if you're going to do this, it does need to be an investment. So if you're going to take it and add it to your retirement account, that's really good. If you're going to add it to your savings, or if you're going to add it towards maybe an investment in the future, if you calculate it and you see on average we're going to get out so much, and you can buy a rental property, or leave it to your kids in a trust if you have children, I would definitely look at it as more of an investment opportunity, not as a way to save money. To use for a house payment or a car payment or something like, or a college payment. But actually for college, it's also a good idea. If you're not very good at saving, if you do that when your child is young enough, so if you basically, you'd have to actually start it when your child is born, because to get a good return on a whole term life insurance policy, you do need to be invested for at least 20 years. You can get a payout at 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and 20 years. Actually over 5 years, you could get a payout at any year you want, but the return is really, really low. So it's not recommended. It's not really worth it. There's not much point to doing that. But so if you start a whole life insurance policy when your child is born, by the time they're ready to go to school, you could actually have enough money to pay for their college fund. Their college. So that would actually be a good option if you're looking at doing that, if you catch it at the right time. What the idea is, you pay more every month. So instead of paying your minimum insurance policy, you pay a little bit more, and you're covered for both your life insurance plus you have a savings fund. So I find that really cool because to get into an investment fund on your own, you need a few $1,000s usually, which most people don't have. So this is a great alternative because here you're just paying a little bit more every single month, but you're getting to take part of a huge fund, and you're getting really good returns on your investment. So my whole life insurance policies, they're giving me 8% back in 15 years, which is a really good return rate. And then if we stay 20 years, they will actually let us know they can't go more than 15 years ahead. Obviously with the stock market, they are gonna, and they don't guarantee the 8%, let me put it to you that way. They say that their average investment payout is 8%. And this is data over the last 20 years. The lowest it went was 6.5. So obviously nothing is guaranteed when you're investing, but when they have a track record like that and they have a portfolio and they're telling you this is normally, what it is and what's been going for 20 years, it's pretty safe to assume you're going to get pretty close to that. I did actually have a whole life insurance policy before in Cyprus. And because we left, I cashed it out early. I cashed it out at 3 years, and I still got back $4,000. So that was mostly my investment, which is that little bit extra that I'm paying in every month. It was mostly that, but I did get a little bit on top. I think it was like 2% on top or something. So it wasn't anything like, wow, huge. But I didn't lose money is the point. You don't lose money on a whole term life insurance policy because you're going to pay for your life insurance anyway. So that gets written off. That you're not going to get back. But then that extra amount that you pay in every month plus the interest, that's just bonus. It's just for savings. Sorry. And I think it's a really, really great option, especially for people that only have an extra $20 a month or $30 a month. Instead of taking that $20 or $30 and putting it in an envelope or in a savings account where you're not getting any return on it, put it into an investment like this. And then it's harder for you to spend. So you're not going to go in there and just take it out and spend it on something that, doesn't need to be spent on. It's going to be locked up, which is better. And then also you're going to be earning returns on it. And if you just look at it like that as a bill and you basically forget about it for the next 15 to 20 years, you're going to have a nice chunk of change at the end of the day. So that's my little tip for today. I think that everybody should get a whole term life insurance policy because, first of all, everybody needs life insurance. Even if you're young and healthy, guys, if you have someone that you love, get a life insurance policy. My mom, that's one thing that she always told me. She said, Jessica, before I pay my house, before I pay, buy food, whatever, I pay my life insurance. And she did that. We had 6 kids. It was the one thing that I think she did right in her life. And she did that every single month. And she kept her and my dad's life insurance policies going no matter what. And she ended up getting cancer and dying. And if she hadn't had kept those life insurance policies going, then she wouldn't have been able to get it when she got sick. One. And two, my youngest sister was 12 when my mom died. And that money really helped us to be able to afford the burial costs and to help take care of the little ones. And it gave all of us a little bit of a boost up. It wasn't much. I mean, we got $5,000 each out because there's so many of us. There's 6 girls, but also because she had a whole term life insurance policy. This is a really good thing to know. It's a sad note, but because they knew she was going to die, they knew they were going to have to pay out her insurance policy. They were also able to give her an advance of $40,000 before 6 months or no, about a year before she died, which gave her a lot of comfort as well, because she was able to not worry about money. She was able to pay the bills, have the kids taken care of, and go in peace in a way. So I really believe strongly about whole term life insurance policy. I think that everybody should have one. I think that it can only do good for you. It's not super expensive. So I think it's something that you should definitely look into and work into your budget, not only for yourself, but for your family. God forbid the worst happens. So stay healthy, stay safe. Guys, don't let bad things happen if at all possible. But if they do, at least be prepared and know that your loved ones will be taken care of. All right, guys, so that's the end of this video. I hope that it was helpful for you, and I'll see you next time.